Righto, so as the first runner-up in the Miss Global 2025, should Miss Global, for any reason, be able to unfulfill, Simone, what are you talking? Unable to fulfill her duties, Jamaica's Keri-Ann Greenwood is going to take her place, and Keri-Ann is here, home from the Miss Global competition in Thailand, after representing Jamaica so outstandingly well. Good morning.
Good morning.
And congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And welcome home.
It's a pleasure to be
How
here.
was the experience?
Wow, it was so incredible. I've experienced so much of various countries' cultures. I ate a lot of new things, a lot of new crazy things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good experience. I got to represent my country, and that meant the most to me, just being there. So I'm very excited for my continuous reign over the last year.
What did you take away from the experience outside of a placing, an impressive placement, representing Jamaica well? You know, there are always lessons in experiences like this.
Yeah.
What is your key takeaway from having gone away and represented us?
So I would say my key takeaway is not being afraid of sharing my story to impact other people. I was not always very open to speaking about my story, and that's why most persons wouldn't, know really. But it gave me the platform to speak about my life and my journey and how I can use that to let other young women thrive.
Yep.
Even my sisters there, I would have shared a lot with them. We had sisterhood nights and we talked about all the things that we've been through, and it brought us closer. It brought me sisterhood. It brought me so many different things. So I would say that's the major takeaway for me.
I want to talk some more about your story,
Yes.
Keri-Ann, but first, why did Keri-Ann decide that she wanted to enter this competition? What prodded you to make this bold step?
So actually, I was reached out by the organization on Instagram to represent. And as you know, I'm a former I'm currently reigning as Miss Universe Jamaica East as well, while being a second runner-up in Miss Universe Jamaica. So I had...
Please, Keri-Ann. For somebody else.
I had to get the necessary approvals from that team in order to fulfill Miss Jamaica Global, in which I was appointed by and/or International. So that is how I really got into it. It was a surprise to me. Based on what I had planned out for my year, it was really career-driven, not realizing that God was positioning me to further advance in my career.
And what is the career?
So I'm an international relations student.
Look at you. You're living your work. What is it about pageantry that appeals to you?
Pageantry, I would say the development process. A lot of people don't focus on what goes on behind the scenes. What you see at the forefront is just these beautiful, intelligent women, but you don't really see the necessary steps it takes to get to that evolved version of yourself.
Hard.
It's very hard. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
It's very rigorous. It challenges some of the traits that you want to hone as an adult. Discipline, time management, organizational skills, all that happens behind the scenes.
You have to learn how to walk.
Yes,
you have to learn how to talk. I mean, it's not an easy... When people see you guys on the stage, look at you representing so very well for us there.
Thank you.
And they would have no idea of the kind of back-end work that goes into this. Everybody think you just get up and do this, but it's a process.
It surely is.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw the video of you on Instagram telling your story. I'm not sure what event for the pageant that was, but I saw the ladies listening to you intently, very glued to what you were saying. It was a story about your mom,
Yes.
and you as a young girl, essentially at 9 years old, having to become a parent yourself.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that, and why did you choose to share that story?
I chose to share that story because it really tied in with what impact I want to leave in Jamaica as well as the world. So as a child growing up, usually you don't really have an understanding, especially at the age of 9 years old. I didn't really understand what my mom was going through, and having been treated, she was schizophrenic. Having been treated, she came home and I realized that she would relapse into, the same episode or having, a lot of issues with her illness after being treated. treated. And it would be the continuous cycle of carrying her back and relapsing and carrying her back and relapsing. So I decided to share that story because I have a plan. I want to implement rehabilitation programs and stigma mitigation for persons who have been already treated so that they can develop major skill sets going out into the world and just becoming who they were once in society again.
What does that do to a 9-year-old, and how has that contributed to your overall development and who you are now?
I lost myself so many times.
Yeah.
I was 9 and I used to give a lot of trouble, I'm not gonna lie. I think that really was what affected me, you know, educationally, mentally, physically.
That's a lot for a 9-year-old.
I wasn't, you know, taking care of myself properly. And then my dad, I have to big up my dad. He passed as well in 2023, but my dad was my backbone and he was such a good father. He took care of me and my mother up until she passed. So, yeah, it was damaging. I ignored it as a coping mechanism, really.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I always come home and face the reality.
Going to bubble up.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the feedback when you shared that? And how did you feel, kind of just as somebody who had wanted to keep it in for so long? Now you're literally on a global stage.
Yes.
And you're putting it all out there. Was that freeing for you?
Yes, I felt very relieved. And in regards to the feedback, persons from Instagram messaged me saying, you know, you really inspired me with your story. And instead of looking at it from the point of view as like, I don't want to be vulnerable, I don't want to share certain things and receive pity, but I could use my story to impact other young women. And that was what I did, and that's the feedback I got, and I'm happy about that.
Vulnerability is strength.
Yes.
I don't know why we don't realize that. And in sharing our stories, we help other people heal.
Right,
so that's
true.
a superpower that you exhibited on the stage there. How do you feel about your positioning in this competition, your performance, and what happens now for Keri-Ann?
Okay.
Is there any other pageant out there that you're...
Okay, as it relates to my placing, I was super grateful. I won't lie, I was very shocked. Leading up to that point,
when the two of you was on the stage, what did it feel into your belly button, Keri-Ann?
Everything.
Everything.
I was like, Jamaica is depending on me. What is happening? What am I gonna do? It was very nerve-wracking because you're assuming a throne, like you're that close to assuming a throne. But I was happy and I knew I made everyone back home very proud. As it relates to my reign now, I'm about to give away my crown on April 5th. That's for Miss Universe Jamaica East. That coronation, the tickets are 3,500 pre-sold and 7,500.
When is it? April
5th.
5?
Yes.
Where?
So that would be at Wilma's Boys Association.
Okay.
And I'll be giving away my East crown, so another queen will take that, and I will fully have control by Andor International. And they will oversee my Jamaica.
Whose franchise is this? Is this Mr. Ramchandani?
No.
Who is it?
So it's Andor International, Andrew Harris.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
So Miss Global and Miss Global International are two different
things.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Distinction made. Having said that, which pageant is next? Or are you going to rest the pageantry for a little bit?
Let's see. I have to complete my reign. And then I'm looking to maybe go to Miss Universe.
You're open.
Yes.
Look at you.
To try again.
Fantastic.
But I have to finish what I have to do regarding school and at least start my career.
How much time do you have in school?
I have about a year left.
Okay. Girl, you have time. Do it all. Just live your life poured out. You've been on a fantastic trajectory. Whatever the decision you make for yourself now is the best decision. Just trust yourself that you got it. You got it, girl. You're that girl. Keri-Ann Greenwood, first runner-up in the Miss Global 2025 competition. Anything you want to say to Jamaica before we go?
Thank you so much, Jamaica, for all the love. Where's the camera?
Right. Keep aspiring. TV presenter.
Yes. Thank you, Jamaica. You have been such an amazing support system while I was overseas, and even now I'm receiving so much love from my people, and I'm just happy to always represent my people and the strength of my people and always help to put Jamaica on the global map. So thank you so much.
Fantastic. You have a very sweet spirit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate and all the best. to you,
Thank you.
on your journey. I think we're going to see you soon again. I don't know why, I just feel that.
Of course.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a break on Smile. Talks turn to concern for Caribbean events in the U.S. amidst immigration uncertainty. That's after the break. We'll be right back.